Ariana Armstrong Sanchez is your manager of email, SMS, and app, here to share how Chico's is stitching together a personalization program that fits. Please put your hands together for Ariana.
All right, well, let's get this party started. Welcome to New York, anyone who is coming from further away. Well, I am local to New York. I'm coming from upstate, which looks a little different. If you're unfamiliar, it's mostly farmland and lakes, so a bit of a change of scenery. But I'm so excited to be here with you all today and absolutely love the energy that the city has. In other exciting news, I recently launched Da Vinci for Chico's FAS just 10 days ago. Yes? And we are already seeing a 20% lift in revenue just in the first few days. Imagine what that lift could look like for your programs or your influence at your organization. Everyone here is more than capable of driving those results, especially with the help of Movable Inc. And today we're going to get into other examples of how Chico's has driven lifts like this over the course of the last few years with Styled for You, how Chico's FAS builds emails that fit. I am Ariana Armstrong Sanchez. I am the email app and SMS manager for Chico's. And over the last 5 years, I have led the White House Black Market and Soma brands. I've also closely collaborated with the Chico's brand as well. Today, we'll be starting with Behind the Label, a quick look at who makes up Chico's FAS, and then we'll be getting into our core needs, which I'd have to guess might look a lot like yours, with Styled for You, from first try-on to forever, in real time, right on trend, and how Movable Inc. helps us solve for those. And last, we'll move to next session, which is a look forward for Chico's. 42 years ago, Chico started as a small island boutique on Sanibel Island, Florida. And today is the 3 powerhouse women retail brands that you know and love: White House Black Market, Chico's, and Soma. Each brand has their own style, their own customer, but they deliver on one mission: to help women to feel confident, supported, and seen. And with personalization, we're able to drive that mission at scale within our emails. So what are our needs? Well, we'll first start with there's too many opinions, right? How many times have you walked into a meeting with a clear path forward for your email strategy, but you walk out confused? Maybe your strategy is a bit muddied. You have directors, chief officers even, providing their point of view on where they would like to see the email go. Well, it's important to remember one thing, that none of these people know the customer better than she knows herself. So how do we tap into that? How do we get her preferences, her desires, and her behavior into the emails to drive engagement? Next, we had a huge subscriber boom following COVID, which is exciting, but only if we can retain those customers. So how can we utilize Movable Inc. to be able to do that? And last, real-time agility. With retail, of course, it moves fast. And at Chico's, our leadership is reading our numbers on an hourly basis. If we're not where we need to be at noon, they want the 6 p.m. email changed. This puts a lot of pressure on our email teams, and it makes it clear that dynamic content is a necessity. Starting off with Styled for You, we'll get into how Movable Inc. has helped solve for that personalization need, with behavioral targeting, product suggestions, and even geolocation. Behavioral banners have been an absolute game changer. One of the first simple ways that we integrated this was through an animated abandoned cart and browse module at the top of our emails. This let her know that she had items waiting for her in her cart and encouraged her to complete the purchase. This banner alone drove a 263% lift in click-through rate. So we took it a step further. We brought in the product that she has abandoned with our current live promo on site, as you see here, and drove a 266% lift in revenue. So all of that to say, abandoned content isn't just for triggers. They can fit seamlessly within our batch marketing campaigns and drive strong results. The next way we integrated behavioral data was through Complete the Look modules. We started this at Chico's, where we used this module in our order confirmation emails. It dynamically pulled in one product she purchased and recommends 3 to 6 styles that pair well with it. This module drove demand for that email campaign up by 25%. And that's pretty impressive because she just made an order, and we're getting her to do it again. We rolled this out across all of our brands. We also have the Soma example here with Make It a Match. And then the last way we've utilized this data is through product suggestions in what used to be a dynamic new arrivals module sprinkled in a few times a week at the bottom of our batch campaigns. We subbed that in for abandoned product and saw a 71% lift in click-through rate. We now move forward with that as our default if she has that behavioral data, but we have the fallback as new arrivals as we did before, which is also dynamic, pulling in the latest styles from site. And lastly, geolocation. I'm sure many of you have been asked to support in-store traffic by simply adding a CTA to find a store near you in your emails. Well, that's not cutting it anymore, and it's not super engaging. So here are some ways that Soma has utilized that with in-store exclusive offers and in-store exclusive promotions. So we have Soma's expert bra fitting, dynamically pulling in the mall name and address as well, and the gift with purchase in store. We can also pull into that weather and that location with our weather banners. So when we had a huge nor'easter over this past winter, we added the Snow Day Deals banner at the top of our existing marketing content. This banner made it more personal, more timely, and more relevant to the customer, and would only display if she found herself in an impacted area. Next, from first try-on to forever, we had our need of retention. Movable Link has helped solve for that with personalized one-to-one offers and loyalty account details. Does anyone here know the amount of your customer file that loyalty customers make up? Anyone? Okay, well, I encourage you to look that up as soon as you get back to office. You might be surprised. And I think you'll be surprised for Soma too. That is 75% of our customer file is in our loyalty program. And this is huge. And those customers drive 85% of our sales. So we wanted to make a personalized experience for these customers and created these loyalty banners. There's many iterations of this, but they all include first name, her tier status, and if applicable, they have rules in place to display the spend needed to get to her next reward or to level up to the next tier in the program. Sometimes it's this bit of information that pushes her over the edge to finally make that next purchase, and we retain her as an active customer. Another great way to retain customers is through personalized offers. And we're able to do this with Movable Inc. to email millions of customers, and every one of those millions of emails are completely different. This could be for a birthday reward, an earned reward, or just other seasonal offers. And they will all pull in first name, her dynamic reward amount, her single-use code, a scannable barcode for in-store, and the expiration date. And this is the first thing that we do when she gets one of these offers. We email her because with these tools, it is so simple and we're able to reach a mass audience. So this is where she's first notified of these offers. We then remind her of these offers on top of every other email she receives until that coupon either expires or she redeems that offer. And over the course of several years, this module has remained highly engaged with, receiving 10 to 15% of total clicks in every campaign. So how do we keep this engaging and so she's not skimming over it as she's seen it every single day now for years, if she's opening her email, if we can be that lucky every day? We refresh this on a seasonal basis or for specific events. So here you have some variety in what this can look like here to keep that engaging. And we even created a 2-offer version. We found that when customers use 2 personalized offers in one single transaction, her spend increases by 120%. So encouraging that behavior with this type of banner has been a huge unlock for us. And lastly, we have real-time, right-on-trend. Movable Inc. has been able to solve for our need of dynamic content with time-based modules, product grids, and social feeds. Product grids, these are just some examples of how different these can look. I'm sure you might have all seen them before, utilized them in your campaigns. Hopefully this gives some inspiration of different ways that they can appear. These product grids have saved our creative team many, many, many creative hours on creating secondary and tertiary messages within our emails. In all of these examples, only the hero image was needed from our creative team. Everything underneath will dynamically populate. Our first 2 examples dynamically populate new arrivals by category for Soma and White House Black Market. And then the version in the middle here has animation through cross-category products on new arrivals. This functionality is especially important during markdown promotional offers. When we're building into even the heroes of these campaigns, we don't know what styles will be on sale. We don't know until days before these promotions launch on how those sales have been for those particular products. So being able to pull in product and still showcase that in our emails when we can't plan into it ahead of time has been great. And we're also able to ensure that throughout a markdown promotion, she is not being set up for a bad experience. And every day she's opening her email and seeing product that is still for sale on the site and doesn't run into the instance where she sees it in the email, clicks on the site, and sees it has sold out. We also partner with our digital merchants to make sure that the sizing inventory of these are in a good position as well. We don't have to stop on pulling in product grids from site. We utilized an API to pull in our social feed as well. So we have a Soma welcome email example here, a touch point to get her to engage with us on our social channels. And we're able to pull in our latest Instagram feed. This means we don't have to touch this email on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis to make sure it's relevant. It is always relevant no matter when she signs up and receives this welcome email. We can take that a step further. So of course, you've seen the examples of pulling the products in from site. But we can also pull in product name and star rating. Star rating can have rules behind it as well to ensure that we're not showing anything with a lower rating. And my favorite, we can pull in the price of the style if she is to use the coupon that we placed at the top of the email. We can also bring in social proof, how many times the product has sold in the last X amount of hours, if it is trending or how many people are viewing it on site. We can bring in live promo text from the site, such as today only or Cyber Monday deal. And lastly, we can bring in color swatches to really show the depth of the selection. Okay, time-based. We utilize this in a variety of ways, but the first way here is really focused on the customer. And again, making sure we're not setting her up for disappointment, especially in short-lived promotional periods. So before key events, we tend to send a teaser email the night before, encouraging the customer to fill her cart, come back, and check out tomorrow. What we don't want happening is the customer to open that email the next day and see something is coming tomorrow. So as soon as that promotion goes live on site, the email changes in inbox, and she will get the marketing of that promotion. We can also utilize this in banner or secondary email module support, as you see here with the daily deals. If you enter a holiday time frame, a flash sale every single day, same functionality, right? So she can open an email from 2 days ago, and if she gets really excited about the $30 PJs, when she clicks through, she will see it for sale because that is the live promotion that day. And again, eliminating any disappointment there. Another way that we've utilized time-based banners is to save our production team time and support key promos that drive additional revenue and clicks. So throughout our trigger emails, we have a small promotional banner that is hosted by Movable Ink Studio. We're able to update this banner in one place within Studio and have that update cascade to all of our triggers. This means our production team doesn't have to go in and stop, pause, and edit 10, 15 touch points. They do it once, and everything is impacted. Because of this lift off the production team, we're able to do this in our triggers and support these promotional events, and have seen a 46% lift in click-through rate when we do so. And then we have our plus-up promo shift. So in our DaVinci pilot in the fall, we encountered our leadership team adding even better offers into our deals during a shorter promotional time frame. Well, with time-based modules, we were able to keep DaVinci personalization on, support the business with the shifts that they needed, and again, save teams time. So able to do all of those things at once, this is huge. And then as I mentioned, with that wonderful Q3 pilot of DaVinci, we saw a 13% lift in demand. And we have just relaunched full scale on the Soma and Chico's brands. And in the first few days, have already been seeing a 20% lift in demand with a plus 40% creative library size. But it doesn't stop there. This is just the beginning. We're moving on to multi-zone personalization, send time testing, and send frequency testing as well next. So super exciting things. I hope this gave you all a little bit of inspiration on some easy wins that you can start implementing in your campaigns. Big thank you to Movable Ink for making all of this work possible. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to find me over the next 2 days. And thank you for your time.